Hello, my name is Adolfo, and this is Life of Adolfo. Today I want to bring a subject that you may encounter if you're going to have a kid, a baby, son, daughter here in the Philippines with a Filipino. And this was brought up to me by another fam. This is before my baby was born. And I was in Camotes Island. The fam is married to my significant other's sister. So there's two AFAMs in the family, me and the other individual from Ireland. The guy approached me, he sat there and he said, my kids have the last name of her. And that thing caught me off guard. I'm like, what do you mean? And he started explaining. For everybody that is not here from the Philippines, and you're used to your culture, your country, and I do understand that. Why? Because when you're in another country, you don't worry about other cultures, laws. Yeah, you might know some, but you don't know everything in detail, other countries and so on. And he was telling me they have her last name. And I'm like, what do you mean? And he started explaining and explaining. I did my research. Once I did my research, I'm like, there's no way I'm gonna allow that to happen. But doing more research, I realized that the last name here in the Philippines, and I'll give an example. We'll say that my name is Adolfo, which it is. And my last name, we'll say, is Lopez. And my significant other's last name, we'll say it's Garcia. In the US, the name will be Adolfo Lopez. If you look at your birth certificate, there's no such thing as a second last name on your birth certificate. In Mexico, because I'm dual citizen, my name will be Adolfo Lopez and then her last name. Because in Mexico, they have your first name, last name, and maiden's name. Here in the Philippines, what they have is Adolfo, and then you have the wife's last name as your middle name. And then Lopez as my last name, but it looks like her last name comes first because it's the middle name. I did not know that. So when my son was born, we did it the Philippine way. First name, her name as a middle name, and then my last name. Now, the individual from Ireland, the other fam, hopefully he did it that way. Because if he didn't do it that way, and we gotta remember it's a different country, different laws, then I'm not gonna say he's screwed, but the last name is gonna be hers. But I'm not sure how he did it. Because I talked to my sisters about this. I talked to my dad first. Since he's from Mexico, we were born in the US, and he kind of knows both laws. In my sister's name, my sister said, our middle names are Al. I don't have that. And my birth certificate in the US, since I was the oldest, it has my first name. And then after that, middle name, there's no middle name or no initials or nothing. And the last name is my last name. When it comes to my sisters, what they have is their name. They have only the initial as a middle name of my mom's last name. And then they have, let me turn around, since I already did what I have to do walking over here. They have the middle name, the initial of the middle name the initial of my mom's last name, and then as a middle name, and then my dad's last name as the last name in California in the US. And that's a big difference. But then again, when it comes to my dad, why he did that, or my mom, or both of them, I have to also realize that they didn't speak English. Whatever the doctor said, they did. And I'm pretty sure that's what happened, because my birth certificate is amended. One of my sisters is also amended because there were errors that they found later. That, you know, when you look at the birth certificate, you verify it and so on. Well, if you don't speak English, you just go by whatever and then you sign it. Why did they have the middle name initial, my mom's last name initial as a middle name? I don't know. But I do know where I live at in California, there's a lot of Filipinos. Maybe there was nurses that they went by the Philippine way and that's the way they did it. But I don't know. I really cannot answer that question. But I do know that in the US, you don't do that. Anyways, that's it for the video because it's about to rain and I'm pushing the baby and I don't want him to get wet. Have a good day. That's all I got for this video. Thank you.